Hey there, welcome to your Friday reading. I am Lisa James, your tarot reader right here on YouTube. Welcome to my channel. And if you like what you see here, hit subscribe so you won't miss a thing. So I'm starting to do regular, readings on Facebook and on the YouTubes and on TikTok again, which I'm really excited about. So this week, I want you to, for this following week, I should say, the theme for this week is getting stuck in wash, rinse, and repeat in your life. So very recently, I kind of had to recognize oh my God, I think I am stuck in wash, rinse, repeat, which is something I talk about on the daily, especially in all of my things. Like my Soulful Living Sessions 8-week thing, my 2-day workshop, my clients, all my Wild Woman stuff, everything that I do in the world and with even my children and my family, I talk about this all the time. But I fall off the wagon on the regular, and I went so far off the deep end that I realized, oh my God, I need to get back on the woo wagon, meaning I have to come back to myself, and I have to get back to my daily spiritual practice. It's really, really important. It's so important that you have your own, whatever that is for you. Maybe for you, it's walking in nature, which is a big part of my spiritual practice. I walk in nature and I feel just suddenly so connected to all things, and I feel connected to my higher self, etc., the universe, the web of life. It's amazing. So know that if you are waking up every day and you're going about your day, not really in contemplation, not really thinking any deeper than what you have to do that day, that's fine. We all do that. We have to live our lives, obviously. But if we let that go for too long, and especially if we're having any kind of stress, anxiety, problems, challenges in our life, and in order to numb ourselves, we anchor even harder into the wash, rinse, repeat. Getting up, doing the same thing, routine, that's what happened to me. So I recently, in the last 2.5 years, have gone through a huge personal transformation in my life. And so as a result, I had a lot of challenges and a lot of pain, and I really had to anchor into my daily routine, just my routine. My getting up, having a shower, and some days, a couple of years ago, that was very difficult to do, just doing my daily things. What happens, though, is then that just becomes a habit. We just kind of, next thing you know, here's what happens. 2 years later, like now, 2.5 years later, I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd the time go? 2 years has gone by like that. And what have I done? How have I grown? Where am I going? What am I doing? What's my path, my purpose? You lose track of all of that. So if any of this appeals to you or is intriguing to you, I invite you to spend this next week in contemplation of, how do I feel in all the areas of my life? How am I feeling about my life right now? And just take a hot second to figure it out. Good way to do that is to go walk in nature. It's a great way to do it. Don't put the AirPods in. Just listen to the birds and the grasses and stuff, and just allow yourself to feel in each area. My work. How am I feeling about my work right now? How am I feeling about my relationships? How am I feeling about my physical health, my mental health, my emotional health, my spiritual health, my financial health? All of it. It's a big ask, but it's really important we do this on a regular basis, because you can slide into depression, which is what happened to me. So I recognize that I was starting to slide into depression, something that I'm very susceptible of. I've had it several times in my life before, to the point where it was deadly. So if you're like me and you have the susceptibility to depression, this is something you really need to stay on top of for yourself and also for your loved ones. Because if you go down, everybody's, it affects everyone in your life. Don't kid yourself, right? In shamanism, it's really amazing because, especially back in the olden timey days, in the community, a person with depression or symptoms of depression would go to the shaman and say, I'm depressed, however they would word it for themselves. And the shaman would say, where in your life have you stopped dancing? Where in your life have you stopped singing? When did you stop being enchanted by stories? Because in shamanism, they believe that it is a spiritual illness. I know it's a mental illness. I get it. And many practicing shamans around the world also recognize there's a mental illness. That's not to minimize that at all. However, I do totally believe and get and understand and have experienced for myself that this feels like a spiritual illness. And what do you do when you're ill? What do you do when you're not feeling good? You take care of yourself. You do all the things. You rest, you drink water, you have soup, you sleep, you take care of, you do all the things. And one thing you need to do if you're feeling this wash, rinse, repeat, which could be leading to a much more serious situation, you need to start doing the things that make you most alive in your life. Okay? So I try and, like, soulful living, that whole phraseology, soulful living, is all about being alive in your own life, you know? And it's a really, and you've had glimpses of that, I'm sure. There's certain times where you're like, wow, I just feel so vibrant and alive. I feel so, like, maybe you have a family dinner and you're playing board games and you're not even thinking about anything else. You just feel so in the moment and alive and happy and joyous and everything, vibrant. This is what we should strive for every single day. So allow this reading to be a gateway, a doorway for you to be able to do a bit of this work with me, okay? So here we go. Are you ready? I haven't even looked at your cards yet. Oh yeah, see? Wow. Okay, you've got King of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, I want you to just look at these cards, how they're interacting, okay? The King of Swords, that's sort of the situation. He's not even looking at these two cards. He's completely in his own lovely world, and she's just a powerhouse there, and the Knight of Swords is coming to fuck them up. Do you see this? He's like, literally, if this was a puppet show, he'd be coming in and going, chop, chop, chop. He'd be like chopping them and even tearing them apart. Okay, this is really important information right now. King of Wands. So the King of Wands is I love this card. King of Wands. Wands is the element of fire. This is when we are, again, feeling vibrant, alive, enthusiastic, tapped into your leadership, forward momentum, creative, vibrant life force. It's enthusiasm, it's excitement, it's all of those things. So there is an area of your life where is working really well, or maybe it is that you've been really longing for that, okay? Really longing for that. Queen of Wands is the second card. She fully embodies this very calm but very fiery leadership. You need to be creative. You need to that's another great way to step out of wash, rinse, repeat. When we don't make time for our creativity, whatever that means for you, when we are in a creative mode, first of all, time goes by like that, right? It just flies by, and you just feel so good after, whatever it is. Maybe it's gardening, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's painting, maybe it's singing, maybe it's playing an instrument, maybe it's dancing, maybe whatever, maybe it's acting, maybe it's public speaking, maybe it's writing. Whatever that creative outlet is for you, that makes you feel so alive and vibrant, so you need to make time for that. That is the message here. Do not allow your inner saboteur, which is the Knight of Swords, stop you. This little fucker, he'll come in and he will completely derail your efforts because he's going, you're too busy, like, I'm so busy, I'm so stressed, get the hell out of here, creativity, right? I need to do my thing. Do not let it do that. That is the message, really. Stay vigilant in your creative life. You know, Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, let's take a moment, from my Bible, The Women Who Run with the Wolves, she says, women in particular, but men too, but women must stay vigilant with their creative life. They have to protect it at all costs because it is how we fill our wild woman, our wild spirit, that inner fire that needs to be constantly fed. And if we're stuck in wash, rinse, repeat, that ain't happening. All right, your oracle card for today is Milky Way, Perspective from Earth Magic by Stephen Farmer. Perspective, I love this. There's a meme out there where it goes, if you're ever stressed and overwhelmed, and they go, here's the Milky Way, you're here. A little tiny dot, right? That's really good. I love that. I gotta put on my glasses, though. Let's read what the book says, though. See what it says. Because usually these cards really freakily tie up a reading really well. This is going a bit long. Hopefully you don't mind. Okay, Milky Way. 101. Page 101. Okay, you have lost your perspective, so it is time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. That's what I'm saying. Go on a nature walk. Get some perspective on your life. Step outside yourself, out of your everyday, getting up, going to work, blah, blah, blah. It's a really important message. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It is an outlook that is not clouded by emotions, judgment, or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life. It's really cool when you start to think of the observer. It's really neat when you have awareness about your observer. There's an inner observer that just observes everything. It's just there. Spend some time with that. That's a really cool concept. Hold on. Okay. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eyes here. Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experiences, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective than is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with a clear vision and open mind. Love that. Earth Magic by Stephen Farmer. Pick it up. Great deck. Okay, last thing I'm going to leave you with, this morning, for my own self, because like I said, I'm hopping back on the woo wagon. I've had the best day ever. I have loved today so much. So needed. The Book of Ruins I picked up today. Not picked up, but I had it. I've had it for years. I just picked it up. So I'm going to pick you a rune. Okay, you ready? All right, here we go. Ooh, I'm going to put it this way. Arrow. Pretty sure it's not called Arrow, but ooh, good one. Page 120. I love this. I love this. Okay, it's not long, so stay with me, okay? Love this. Oh, this is amazing. No, that's not it. Hold on. Hold, please. Here we go. The Warrior. Chiu, Sky God. Amazing. Okay, I'm not going to read this whole thing because it would take too long, but here's what I will tell you. Always the battle of the spiritual warrior is with the self. So know that, again, funding a will through action yet unattached to outcome. So again, detachment is coming in. Remaining mindful that all you can really do is stay out of your own way and allow the will of heaven to flow through you. I love this. Beautiful. Embodied in this rune is the energy of discrimination, the sword-like quality that enables you to cut away the old, the dead, and the extraneous. Beautiful. The reward of patience is patience. Amazing. Okay. Again, your reading was very masculine. It was 2 wands and one, I forget what the other card was. Oh yes, 1 sword. Wands is fire, wands is masculine. This rune is associated with the sun and masculine energy, the active principle. So this means you need to, in order to step out of wash, rinse, repeat, and if you're suffering from depression, is action. In fact, there's a fantastic book called the Feeling Good Handbook that saved my life when I was 25, along with my therapist. And that is one thing that book teaches, is that if you need to get out and do things, and you need to force yourself, even if you don't feel like it, get out and do stuff. This will also help. All right. Thank you for joining me for today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday. If you ever want a custom reading that's just for you, me and you and me, you can click the link below, visit my website, and I've got my upcoming online beginner's tarot course, where I teach exactly how I read the tarot. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, no book, all intuitive. That starts in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks. So the information is on my website. You can find, I have a great bundle price available there. And as always, you can book a reading with me or just stay tuned in on the YouTubes and Facebook or wherever else I post readings and offerings. All right, take care and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.